The one thing that's always bothered me about Peanuts is that Charlie Brown is the one that gets picked on all the time. When Linus, who's the same age as Charlie Brown, he goes around carrying a blanket, sucking on his thumb. He believes in the Great Pumpkin, something that's not real. So by that logic, I don't understand why Charlie Brown gets picked on more than Linus. And sorry to those who actually did believe in the Great Pumpkin. The Peanuts movie is based on the comic strip of the same name created by Charles Schulz 65 years ago. This movie brings in the whole gang: Charlie Brown, Linus, Lucy, Snoopy, Woodstock, Sally, Peppermint Patty, Marcy, Franklin, Pigpen. The list goes on. So the basic plot of this movie is that a new kid has moved into the neighborhood where Charlie Brown and the gang live, and is attending their school and the same class that they're in. It turns out to be this little redhead girl that Charlie Brown just goes hot over heels for. And the whole movie is him trying to leave his old self behind, basically trying to become a winner and do everything in his power to win the affection and the heart of this little redhead girl, as all us boys wanted to do in elementary school. So I've been really looking forward to this movie. When I first heard they were doing a CG animated Peanuts movie, I was like, oh, no, 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 no. Then I saw the first teaser and I'm like, okay, this could work. Then 2 other trailers came out and okay, the animation still looks good, the voices look good, but I don't know. Like, the fact that they say from the creators of Ice Age and Rio, I'm like, okay, whatever. But when you get a script written by the son and grandson of Charles Schulz, you get a very, very faithful adaptation of the classic Peanuts. This feels more based off some of the holiday specials rather than the actual comic strip. It is a very simple movie, no question about that, but that's kind of what the Peanuts was, honestly. Peanuts was very simple. One thing I always admire is that how the kids really talked more intellectual than they actually are. And one of the great things about this movie is they still keep that, and they also don't bother to update it. There are no laptops, there are no cell phones, there's no hip-hop songs playing. Okay, there are a few pop songs, but it's not used like it is in the trailer. And yeah, I mean, there's still typewriters. They still use phones that have the little circle dial. And I kind of like that. I like how they did not try to modernize the Peanuts. And yeah, it's really great. The animation reminds me of the Lego Movie, in the sense that the Lego Movie had CG that looked like stop motion animation. This has CG that looks like the original comic strip and the holiday specials. And there are a lot of 2D elements in there, like some of the outlines of the characters are 2D animated. The dust from Pigpen looks like it's 2D animated, but it all looks like it's in a 3D environment. And that's really cool that they still keep the look of the Peanuts. That's how you make a CG movie based off an old cartoon and keep it to the style. That's how you do it right. All the characters are as you remember them. Lucy is very stuck up, full of herself, sometimes jealous, and affectionate for Schroeder. Linus is kind of the voice of reason and the one who basically assists Charlie Brown whenever he's in his time of need. And then Charlie Brown is your everyday loser who's he's trying to do good in life. He's trying to be a good kid, but things just never seem to work out for him, which is something I can relate to. In my review for A Bug's Life, I mentioned there was a certain point in my life where I was pretty much flick, and that's why I liked the movie a little more than people did. Probably scratch that, because I think I was more like most of elementary school. I think I was more like Charlie Brown, except I had hair. But I don't know, this is a really good movie for kids to watch who feel like they're outsiders and feel like that they are invisible to the rest of the world. Peanuts in general is good for those kinds of kids, I think. All the kids who voice these characters do a really good job. They all sound like these characters. The one voice that fits perfectly with the original holiday specials is Linus. I was with someone who said, man, the voice didn't sound too much like Linus the way I remember. And I was like, really? It did help that I saw It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown before seeing this movie, because Halloween was just last weekend. But the voice for Linus was spot on. It was almost it was practically identical. And the tone is very much like the Peanuts. The jokes hit when they need to hit, and a lot of it's kind of dark humor where it's like Charlie Brown gets screwed over. It's funny at points. There's some lines that made me laugh, but it's not laugh out loud funny, and that's what the Peanuts were. The Peanuts were never laugh out loud funny. They were always more downbeat cartoons. So I'm glad that they decided not to make a full-blown comedy out of this. If I had any gripes with the movie, it's that I'm not a big fan of an orchestral score being used for this movie. I would prefer more of a jazz score from beginning to end. I mean, they do use some of Vince Guaraldi's music cues from the Charlie Brown Christmas special. In fact, the movie opens up with one of his cues. But I feel like a full-fledged jazz score would have definitely helped this movie a lot more. The score that's in the movie is not technically bad, but it doesn't really stand out. There are pop songs used, but it's not to the extent that it was used in the trailer, so you don't have to worry about that. But on the whole, I think the Peanuts movie is really great. It's probably the best thing Blue Sky's done outside of the first Ice Age, and it's definitely a movie that everyone can see. It is geared towards more of a younger crowd, but I think adults, especially those who grew up on the Peanuts, will enjoy this just as much. Just because a movie's rated G does not at all mean that it's only geared towards kids. I mean, look at most of Pixar's catalog. Finding Nemo's rated G, and that movie opens with the death of Marlin's wife and other kids besides Nemo. So I can't recommend the Peanuts movie enough. I don't think I really outright love it because there are some things that kind of irritated me, but it is definitely a movie that's worth seeing in your lifetime, especially if you're a big fan. Any worries you had about this movie, you can stop worrying because this is really a great adaptation. And that's my review for the Peanuts movie. Leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the movie if you've seen it. What did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends. Don't forget to check out my official website, therealmrrobinson.com. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and Periscope. And this is The Real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.